Hello, welcome back to day 2, and this week we're focusing on UX and UI design. My name is Sarah Stewart, I'll be your host today, and we have the lovely Alex Banaga, right? Banaga with us. And we've been working with him on a music website. And so we are going to talk a little bit about what he did yesterday, what he's going to do today and tomorrow, but first I want to highlight the other guests we have this week. And so earlier, if you caught the stream before us, it was James Sue working with Paul Triani, working on some succulent applications. So if you don't know anything about plants, definitely check that out and check out those cool visuals. Then we have Alex with me this afternoon, and later today we have Kevin with Jessica Moon working on some social media influencer mobile applications. So all of it's really cool stuff. I highly recommend you tune into all three and get some more chances to win, chat, and win prizes. Yesterday we had a challenge where we worked on a one-pager for travel experiences, and today we want you to participate in a challenge where you work on a time travel smartwatch design. And so please go to the challenge tab to check out the icon kit we've provided to you. It's called the Illumi icon set. And we want you to adjust this a little bit and create some cool time travel designs. I'm looking forward to seeing what they put together for this.
Me too.
I honestly haven't seen a lot of smartwatch designs in general, so it'll be really cool for me to see how people have been working in this space. I don't know, have you been working with the smartwatches at all?
I've played with a few apps in them, but I've not made that many.
Yeah, I should make one after this, actually. And today with the chat and win, just by participating, asking us questions, telling us where you're from. I'm originally from Canada. Alex, where are you originally from?
San Diego.
San Diego. We love hearing about where people are tuning in from. If you live there now or you lived there in the past, please let us know. And just by participating in chat, you have the option today to win this lovely XD notebook. This is super cool. You can see the embossed XD logo in the bottom right. And there's XD secrets maybe inside. I don't know because it's sealed. But I would love to have one of these to write my notes in. It's actually like bound. Yeah, you can see the binding. It's super nice and super cool. I like really clean notebooks. It looks like it has a pocket in the back too. So when I do sketches outside of my notebook, I can always stick those in. But yeah, you have a chance to win this, so just ask us questions as we go along. There were great questions yesterday, so I'm looking forward to what you've got for us today. And with that, Alex, do you want to talk a little bit about what we did yesterday?
Yeah, I'd love to. So just diving straight into it, yesterday we worked on our music producing app, which if you guys aren't familiar with it, it was kind of if SoundCloud and Dribbble had a baby. And we kind of focused on the home screen and the logged out experience. And so today we're kind of going to dive into that, and I don't know if you want me to share what I had planned.
Yeah, and why don't we also show where they can find you online and see some of your work. I know you're very active online.
I try to be.
You're self-taught, which is a big deal to you, and I think it's a big deal to a lot of people who are chatting today. It's really hard to build a community and network when you don't have that college experience maybe, but you want to be able to find your family online, and you've done that successfully, so... Yeah, maybe talk a little bit about where they can find you and what you've worked on. Yeah,
so you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Dribbble, or Behance. I post on Dribbble pretty regularly. I try to do it actually every day. And then just some of the work, if you guys aren't familiar with me yet, I've done work for Jelly 2 years ago. Last year I was at Pinterest, and I help a lot of YC companies, you know, just on their branding, on their landing page, and stuff like that.
Oh, we have Eric saying he would love to be part of your family.
Hey, Eric, you're part of the family. If you want to be my family, you can be part of it.
Oh, that's so nice. Aaron's from New York. I lived in New York for 5 years. It's cool there. The weather can be pretty intense in the summer and winter, though. Hi, Razvan. Hi, Omar. Good to see you again. It's always nice to see you, Voodoo Val. Hi, Frank, Emmanuel. Thank you all for joining in today. And so now you've got a good overview of Alex and his background. He's worked on a bunch of cool projects with a bunch of really rad companies. And what are we going to learn with you today, Alex?
So today we're going to continue our music producing app, which I just explained is just basically if SoundCloud and Dribbble had a baby. And we are going to dive into some more pages and hopefully link up some stuff in XD so that it kind of feels like it's live and on the web.
A working prototype. Also, just as an FYI, Alex did not know XD before working on these projects. he had maybe spent 20 minutes, you said,
Yeah.
in XD?
Yeah, like
before
20
doing
minutes
this?
I was able just to like get the basics down and start doing what I'm about to do in front of you guys, but I started learning it on Sunday and I feel like I'm already like at least
You're
above. A pro. Yeah. I don't know if I'm a pro yet, but trying to be.
Yeah, I mean, we've been able to go through the features together, so this is great for any of you who are also new to XD because Alex is in the same position as you, but it's a really easy program to pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super easy.
Well, I'm super excited for today. Thank you all again for coming in and joining us. And let's maybe review.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, what you worked on yesterday.
Yeah, so yesterday I worked on this
Do you mind
screen.
making it full screen so we can see it a little bit
let's do
easier?
it. Let's do that.
Perfect.
Sweet. So yesterday I worked on this screen primarily. From start to finish, we worked on the navigation, the banner, the content. I showed you guys what Repeat Grid did, which is really amazing. That was like
amazing
our,
tool.
what do we call that? Like Adobe Cadabra?
Adobe Cadabra.
Yeah.
That's our new like tagline for us. Adobe Cadabra.
Yeah, because it was magic. Literally, we dropped one group of photos in, and it populated all the content, which would usually take like 30 to 40 minutes.
Can we make this hashtag a thing? I need you guys to help
Adobe
me out with this.
Cadabra. Yeah,
Adobe
let's
Cadabra.
get that like trending on Twitter. Maybe
Yes.
we can do that.
I'll start it out. So.
So we just worked on primarily the logged out screen for this app that I'm building out right now. We did the banner, the content. This is basically the page that someone would see if they're logged out and they're new to this website. The fictitious project is called TO Beats, and it's actually.
We didn't maybe mention the name yesterday. What is it called?
I don't think we did mention it. It's called TO Beats, and it's actually it's an acronym.
Okay, what's
So
an acronym for?
it's TIO is actually the importance of, and then beats.
The
So
importance of beats.
I just put an acronym together for TO, and then I just put beats at the end. So
I dig it.
the application name is called TO Beats.
Cool. So we're making
Yeah.
TO beats here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a brand name and having an idea behind, I guess, the branding, but also the naming and iconography of what you're building is super important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we kind of dove into like some of the other little stuff around the logo, like why we're not using the logo name in the top left corner, which traditionally you see on a lot of apps.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so today we're just probably going to continue on adding stuff to the navigation, showing what the logged in experience is going to be, and then diving into these two pages here, which is if you want to search for producers near you.
This is new.
Yeah. And then also if you want to explore, so you can explore by today's hits, popular this month, and recent.
Wow.
So
Alex is a speedy worker. He says he posts something online on social media every single day, which I think is a wonderful work ethic to have if you can muster it. I wish I was good at doing that kind of thing. I think I posted my first Behance project yesterday, so I'm proud of that.
that's good. Hey, first step is always the hardest.
Right, yeah, so it's hard to put the first project up, but I think it's important. That's really cool.
Sweet. So should we just dive straight in and?
Yeah, and feel free to ask questions
Okay.
as we go. I know this is a lot that we're throwing at you because Alex is a fast worker and it's all looking really cool. I know someone mentioned they like the hands in the header, which I think is really funny because I don't know if you were going for hands or if you're going for like
Yeah, kind of like the beat thing that goes up and down.
Yeah.
Usually when you see stuff like sound movement,
but it could also be like hands, like a DJ.
it could be
at
like a DJ
turntable.
does like the little turntable thing. It could be. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of the cool thing about design is it's whatever you see in it, not really
Yeah.
what I want you to
It's
see.
your
in it.
interpretation.
Yep. All right.
Everyone's saying Adobe Cadabra too. Thank you. Keep it going.
So let's do this. All right. So we are going to start with just clearing. So we're going to start with clearing the canvas. And all I did was just duplicate artboard number 1.
Gotcha.
So why I like to do that is because I already have the presets. So the navigation is going to stay the same. So when I duplicate it, it takes all the stuff that I have, and then I can just start subtracting stuff and then adding my own stuff.
Yeah, so keeping the same like elements as the header, footer.
Exactly. So that's all I'm going to do here.
Eric said if we want them to be hands, we should do rock signs.
Rock signs. I think that would, like this, right? That's what those are?
It's this. I always get, in sign language, this means I love you, and this is rock on? I don't know. I think this is rock on. Let me know, chat.
Alright, so I'm going to pull this guy over here. That's my inspiration source, even though we already did it. And I'm going to dive straight in. So I'm going to grab this font that we used over here. and I want someone coming to this page to instantly know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna write producers. Oops. Big and loud, and then I'm gonna increase that extremely big. Make it very bold. Sweet.
Yeah, it's much larger, and it's very clear that you're on this page to look at producers.
Exactly. So then what I'm going to do now is I think it'd be really cool. I find this on a lot of cool social media sites where they try to connect the community that you live by.
Gotcha.
So we're going to do a search navigation where you can actually search by a location. So if you're in San Diego, you can search for music producers in San Diego. If you're in New York, you can search for them in New York.
Yep.
So I'm going to do that. So I will do search by location.
Tim and Ty are educating me. Yeah, this means rock on, and this means I love you. Me and my boyfriend, we do the I love you sign language sign all the time. So
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, my school was 40% deaf at college too, so I learned like I'm sorry, thank you.
40%?
Yeah, it was
wow.
a large population of deaf students, and so I learned some sign language.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's cool. Oh wow, Ty said if you cross your index and middle fingers, it is I really love you.
That's what it means?
I did not know that. Index and middle finger. This one?
Wow.
I mean, this is like a promise, right? Interesting. I'm learning new things.
All right.
So Alex is from San Diego originally, so we're
Yep.
probably going to use San Diego as the example of the location.
We could use that, or we can use if you have like a different spot in mind.
I just moved to Asheville, North Carolina. I think we could use that as an example
Asheville?
too.
We can do that.
Asheville's a rad place.
So if you remember, yesterday I kind of walked through how I create buttons. Whenever I zoom in and then go over to the left and then do the padding thing where I go over like 24 pixels. So I'm actually going to do the same thing here. So I just grabbed the text from my previous button. I'll put that in here, and then I'll just change this to search. Nice. And then from here, I'm just going to do the shift and right arrow to go over 10 pixels, do it again, and then go over 4 pixels. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I will do the same thing for the width. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So now it's perfectly even on both sides.
Yeah, it's important to be consistent with your buttons and things like that.
Yep. And then the height is 34 on our other button, but we're using a different size button for here, so we're not going to have the same height.
It's going to be a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger, just because we want the predominancy when someone comes here to be that they just want to search for producers near them.
Gotcha.
Right. So I'm going to do something that feels right. I don't have like an exact calculation in my head, but I will go into probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go 15 pixels from the top and bottom.
That looks pretty even, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the height turns out to be exactly 40 pixels, so I'll just make the search bar the same so that they're consistent.
Yeah, it's always the worst when one of the fields is 1 pixel off.
Yeah, and as we're kind of pick that up, like we're like,
we
not
see
good,
it.
not good.
We see it.
So I know. So you said North Carolina?
Yeah.
I think that's where J. Cole is from.
Who's J. Cole?
Oh, you're gonna get a lot of slack in the chat right now. You don't know who J. Cole is.
Am I gonna like do a typing thing right now?
You really don't know who J. Cole is?
No.
Oh my God, he's like the second biggest artist right now.
Really?
In like rap.
Okay, I have to look him up. J. Cole.
And he's from North Carolina. I'm pretty sure he talks about it in all his music.
Oh, like a musician person.
Yeah,
Gosh,
he's like a rapper.
I'm so not into pop culture.
We'll use. I'm actually just gonna.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of comments
I
already.
knew it. Once you said that, I was like, ooh, not
I guess
good.
I should listen to his songs.
Yeah, you know what? After this, we'll sit down and I'll create a playlist.
Thank
for,
you.
Like,
Thank you, Alex.
The top 10 you should start with.
I need that. I really do. I need more culture in my life. Hey Karen, Raleigh's really nice too. I love North Carolina. I've been there for about a week, but so far so good. Everyone's laughing at me.
I know. I promise I'm gonna create the playlist for her. Like I'm not even joking.
Don't worry, he's got it. He's got it covered.
I got you guys. All right, so we actually have the search part done. So what I did here, the only thing that I went into thinking here was I just created this little line divider, and the reason that I created that was to separate two different parts of what's going on in the banner section. So we have the producer, the big bold text, and that's just describing what this page is about. And I put a line divider to separate that content to the right.
Gotcha.
Without it, it'll be fine. But just that little separator and putting an opacity in front of it too, so it's not like 100% white, it actually does this thing where people instantly can go from 1 to 2 instead of kind of go from 1 to 2. Do you know what I mean?
It's like in a composition where you group objects together and have some sort of grouped separation so that people understand that there are sections.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's why I put that little line separator there. We have the search by location. A user would just click this, go straight into type, you hit search, and then the content below would auto-populate just based off of what city they put in.
Cool. Alejandro likes the separator.
Sweet.
Yeah. Everyone is still giving me like
who is J. Cole? That's a hashtag now. That is awesome. That's awesome. That's gonna trend. That's gonna trend before the Adobe Cadabra one.
Yeah, probably.
Darn it. All right.
Oh, thank you, Eric.
So now I'm going to actually just put in my producer input now. So as someone coming to this page, what do they want to see? They probably want to see the producer's face, know a little bit about the producer, and then I thought another really cool feature would be to have maybe 3 thumbnails where someone could instantly listen to beats from that producer.
Maybe like the top beats?
Exactly, directly from this page, so
Gotcha.
they can kind of feel them out before diving into that page.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. You want to get a feel of someone before you invest time going to their page and researching all their music.
Right. So I'm just going to lay my content down here. Kyle, just put Banaga. I don't have a brother.
Maybe everyone in chat should let me know who your favorite musician is, and I'll see if I know all of them.
I guarantee you I know all of them.
Yeah, you probably will.
If they're in like rap and like maybe born after like 2000.
Yeah, I recently have been listening to Kendrick Lamar, and I love his stuff.
He's good.
I was listening to a podcast where they broke down all of his music, and it was really, really cool. I really appreciated it a lot more. But yeah, let us know who you like.
It's cool too, because like rap, like they have beats that go behind the rap, and we're doing an application around that.
Yeah, around
so
beats.
It's still very relevant.
Yeah. NF, I don't know NF, but there's a rapper NF, Sean Paul, DJ Banaga, Sylvanesso. I like Sylvanesso. Kendrick's the best, Mark says. Yeah. Michael Jackson is really good. Off the Wall is a really, really good album.
A lot of Kendrick people.
Yeah, Kendrick is good. I respect Kendrick. Voodoo Val doesn't think she can choose one genre, let alone one artist. So I don't blame you, yeah. I listen to a lot of variety in my music, not usually one genre. Emmanuel says J. Cole uses Adobe XD.
Hey,
if that's true, that's cool. We can have him on here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Voodoo Val, thank you for reminding chat. We have 11 minutes left before the chat and win. Don't forget to participate and make fun of me so you get a chance to win the XD notebook. I am super excited about whoever gets to take this home. I'm big on notebooks, so I have my notebook here that I love, and it has like a bunch of cool stuff in it in terms of like unfinished drawings that you can choose to complete. Very cool. The notebook is everything, you're right, Neela. And NF is great for Christian hip-hop, okay. Gold Link, I don't know Gold Link, wow. I
know Gold Link.
You know Gold Link?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for being here. Sarah wants the notebook, yeah. Yeah, it's really rad, so whoever wins it, please put it to good use. So now you're focusing on a lot of text.
Yeah, so I'm doing the typography that's going to go to the right side of the user's avatar.
Nice.
And typography is such a big thing when it comes to designing, because you really have to determine, the bold from the medium, from the semi-bold. And those are not just stuff that you just pick for fun. You actually have to see what you want the user's eye to see first.
Right,
So that's why I'm going into the font weights, different font weights. That's his name is white. His location is not as important because they've already searched it.
Correct,
so I can dim it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can really focus in on just the name and the beats of the producer.
Gotcha.
Started at that.
Are you gonna have any icons in here too, or?
We'll have a few buttons. I think we'll on the next page we'll have icons, and I just based off of yesterday's thing, I'll create those from scratch.
Nice,
so
awesome.
we can go into that.
We can
It'll be
see how
fun.
you can make icons in XD.
Yeah.
Aaron asked if we'll be at Adobe Max this year. I will not be. I don't know if you'll be at Adobe Max, Alex.
I probably will be.
Nice.
I've never been to one, so it would be a good experience, especially after coming here.
Yeah, I've heard only good things, so definitely. Emmanuel says your typography is on key.
Thank you, Emmanuel. I appreciate that.
Lee Cray's music. Have you heard of Lee Cray?
Lee Cray, he's also, I believe, a Christian rapper as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Joy was asking Brian if he'd heard of Lee Cray. Oh wow, Tim said you can save $400 on Adobe Max tickets. That is a good deal. That is maybe going to influence me possibly going. Interesting. Yeah, definitely use that promo code if you plan on going to Adobe Max. I've heard only good things. You get to hear amazing speakers, participate in workshops. They always have really cool installations too. I heard last year's were really fun in Las Vegas. Max branding is usually done by internal teams at Adobe. The brand team here at Adobe is fantastic. If you don't know them, you should follow them on Instagram and Twitter. Emma Zhang is one of the brand designers who recently worked on all the new illustrations for Adobe products, and they're super cool. So definitely look her up and follow her. She's always posting beautiful work. So when you're working, do you normally listen to music or podcasts, or is it just silence?
Recently I've been switching it up.
Yeah.
So I used to listen to like nonstop Drake 24/7.
Drake's pretty good too. I like Drake.
So I like Drake a lot. And then I just started listening to a lot of different podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm kind of into Joe Rogan's podcast right now.
Oh, I don't know that. Joe Rogan's podcast?
Yeah, you know Joe Rogan, no?
Yes.
Okay.
I know Joe Rogan.
Don't give her slack.
Yeah. Is it just a comedy podcast?
No,
or?
he talks a lot about just like fitness and eating good and like just different things like UFC and random stuff like shark attacks. It's
Shark attacks?
Shark attacks.
What?
That's actually one of my biggest fears, so like I kind of like that episode a lot. But
Eileen says Joe Rogan Experience podcast.
yeah, that's actually what it's called.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, Eileen.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I recently listened to S-Town by the same people who made Serial, and it's probably my favorite podcast I've ever listened to. I highly recommend it. It starts out super bizarrely, but it's such an emotional and touching story, and very interesting in the way it turns out. It turned out completely differently than what you'd expect from the beginning. Let us know what podcasts you're listening to. I need some more. Samantha says S-Town is so good. Yeah, it totally is. Yeah, Sam, it's so emotional. I almost cried. I think I probably did cry. We stopped at a gas station right as it was ending the final episode, and we turned off the car and just sat in the car and listened to the ending, and I was like, wow. And we were in Alabama at a gas station when it ended, and we were listening to it, which is super funny. Yeah. So it's just a moment for me. I'll never forget that. Brian says, Alex, step it up. Drop Joe Rogan for Tom Segura.
I'll have to listen to Tom Segura. I don't know who that is, but if he's better than Joe Rogan, I'll let you know.
Awesome. Apparently he does podcasts with his wife. That's cool.
That's awesome.
I used to do a podcast. It was a lot of work.
Really?
But a lot of fun.
Are they a lot of work?
I did it for a year, and we released an episode every week. We got picked up by the 5x5 network, if anyone knows that. So it got pretty popular, and it was super weird to have people listening to me. that often.
Did you have like one of those expensive mics?
I actually just got the Snowball, which is like not too expensive,
Oh,
but
really?
it worked, yeah.
Nice.
Alejandro's asking if you set up the 10 pixel per click thing or if it's default. So
Yeah.
if you do shift any arrow key, by default in XD, you'll automatically move over 10 pixels with what you have selected.
So now
Oh.
I'm just aligning my stuff.
Apparently Tom Segura was on an episode of Joe's show.
Nice. Then Joe Rogan usually has like really good quality people on there, so.
Cool. So now you're aligning everything. Do you normally use a grid when you're working on this type of thing?
You know, surprisingly, like I'll do the grid at the very last thing. So before I give it to a developer, I'll do the grid. But typically I just like to be like in crank mode where just a bunch of stuff gets on there. And then to finalize it, I'll do the grid.
I think that's a good way of working because sometimes even I can get caught up on thinking too much
grid,
like a developer.
the pixels, all that, I just gotta go.
Yeah, as a designer, it's good to just like move stuff around on the page and get your ideas down more than constraining yourself by what you know maybe some details are that you should be paying attention to. We have about 4 minutes left for the chat and win too.
So I just grouped all these elements. This is actually my like wireframe for my producer.
Gotcha.
So when you find a producer, that circle is going to be their avatar. Those rounded corner circles or the rounded corner squares, those three are going to be their topmost listened to beats.
Gotcha.
And you can actually listen to them by just hovering and hitting play.
Nice, just like on the main page.
Exactly.
Cool.
But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do our little Adobe Cadabra thing.
Adobe Cadabra, my fave.
Yep.
Hashtag Adobe Cadabra.
So all these are grouped. I just grab it. I hit repeat grid, and this is not, I don't need it to the right. I'm just going to bring it down now.
Cool.
So
How many do you think we can fit on this page?
Let's see. I think a good number would be 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 6.
Yeah, 6 is a good number.
We'll fit 6.
Thanks for saying Adobe Cadabra with us, everyone.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that little trick where I can adjust the padding from top to bottom of each one.
Yeah, and that's just by hovering over the margin and dragging it.
It's just so awesome. It does it for, like so much time. Like,
Adobe
saver.
Cadabra.
So now ta-da. And what I'm going to do here is I will bring this down just a little bit because now it's getting cut off. And I believe this layer is locked, so I would just bring him down a little bit. Sweet.
Nice.
So now what we can do is we can populate these with real people and real cover art.
Yeah, do you have some photos ready?
I have the photos ready.
They're all designers, right, that you know? You mentioned this yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. If you guys know any of the designers, let me know.
Yeah, apparently they're some of Alex's favorite designers.
So this is my little folder, assets, images, producers. So all I'll do here is grab these, and then I just get to drag them here.
And it auto-populates.
Auto-populates.
Adobe Cadabra.
It's incredible.
Yeah, you're seeing Alex's mind get blown as he's learning XD live. Now I'm curious if I do know any of these designers.
You gotta know that guy, Eddie. I think his last name is Lavosky.
Eddie Lavosky.
I don't know if I'm
Gosh.
pronouncing it right. He has like over 100K followers on Dribbble.
I'm really bad about social media. I know designers based on their work.
Well then, yeah, you probably know like him. He did those like icons back in the day. Like he did like a bacon and waffle icon that went crazy.
Oh, really? Bacon and, what is it, waffle icon?
Waffle icon.
Bacon and waffle
And then type
icon.
in Eddie Lavosky. Just put L. Just put L. It should come up.
Okay.
That one. See that bacon icon right there and the waffle? Those two.
I've seen this one before.
Yeah.
I've seen the waffle one. I've never seen the bacon one. Yeah, he
Yeah.
did hyper-realistic stuff for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's
do know him,
crazy.
yeah. I think I
See?
follow him
I knew
on
you would.
Dribbble, probably. Nice. So we have only about 30 seconds left. Let us know if you know any of these designers on the design that Alex is working on, or let us know who your favorite designer is. Please just participate in chat and you have a chance to win.
Now I'm going to do the Adobe Cadabra one more time before we head off.
Before we leave.
Yep.
We need like a magic wand in here. We need a prop next time.
Next time we'll get that. So all I'm going to do is just drag these to these squares and then be populated. But I think because I did the drag select, it didn't get those, so all I have to do is just do it again for these.
For each column.
Exactly.
And it might be nice to mix them up, but we'll do that in a second. Right now, it's our chat and win time. Woo! It's notebook time. Check it out. I don't know if you can see the embossed XD logo, but it's there, Alex, right? You can see it. Not
Very embossed.
Nice. It's so beautiful. It has this wonderful binding on the side. All you need to do is chat with us. Say Adobe Cadabra. Let us know who your favorite musician is. Let us know who your favorite designer is. Any of those things would be qualifications to get this notebook. Thank you all for participating too. Everyone's been super active in chat. This is such a fun community to be a part of.
Definitely.
I mean, it's your first time doing this. How do you feel about the number of people?
I think it's amazing that the community is so just well receptive and online and active.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And you guys are also nice to one another. I really appreciate that. As we're
Can I see this?
Yeah, go for it.
I just want to, like, it's like heavy too.
Yeah, and we have a winner. So would you like to yell out the name?
I don't know how to say the name.
Just try your best. I know it's hard sometimes.
The winner is Frank Amagan.
Yeah, Frank Amagan. Amagan.
Congratulations
on getting this beautiful notebook. Yay!
Beautiful.
Thank you for participating. It's so nice to have you. Neela's saying it's made of solid gold. I mean, that would be cool too, but it would also
made
be
of gold.
Tough to write in, I think.
Be worth a lot of money though.
That's true. That's true. Congratulations. Keep the questions coming, even though we're not winning any prizes anymore. We would love for you to participate in our challenge so we can review some of your work. And yeah, ask Alex as many questions as you'd like. He's very educated and knowledgeable about all of this stuff. So thank you and congratulations again. Time to jump back into some of these images, it looks like.
So now we'll change the images, but one thing that I see on like a lot of websites is sometimes they feel like incomplete. Like currently right now, the right side is feeling a little dead.
Yeah,
right?
There's a lot of empty space.
A lot of empty space. So I thought here, what we could do is, if you're a startup, this is the startup, by the way, it's a new company, right? Fictitious, but we're trying to get some of the producers to follow some of the social medias because that is important for a new company to have a pretty good following on social media.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this yesterday, Alex, but do you want to reiterate kind of some of the work that you work on and why you chose this project?
Yeah. So just to give you guys some background, I work with a lot of Y Combinator companies, and they're like an elite incubator here in San Francisco. And I don't know the amount of people that enter each year and actually get in, but I know it's kind of small. But I know Airbnb started out with them, Dropbox. I think Instacart was with them before.
Lots of big names.
And I think the way it works is they give $120,000 to some entrepreneurs to work on their idea here in San Francisco. I think either in San Francisco or in Palo Alto, and I help a lot of those companies with their branding, their logo, their landing page, and these guys have nothing to start with. So that's kind of been my specialty now for the past few years, is helping startups kind of find their identity very fast and at a very young age.
So anyone who has a business idea, who needs some quick design concepts to help promote what you're thinking and feeling with your work, Alex is the guy to go to.
I'm your guy.
Yeah.
I'm your guy.
He's got a lot of experience doing this.
I'm your guy.
I think that's such a good niche to be in because you get to work on some really cool projects. You get to really create the first initial style for a lot of these companies.
And believe it or not, I've worked with a lot of different companies, and the YC people are so awesome because they're very elite, they're very focused, but they also are so adapted to feedback.
Yeah.
So they're just like, you can do whatever, let's make it awesome. And they're a lot easier to work with than some bigger companies.
Yeah, some people who are less
receptive
able
to feedback.
Change. Yeah, that too. Well, Brian's actually leaving us, but he left us with a couple of good hashtags like Adobe Cadabra, who's J. Cole, I don't know Tom Segura, so we gotta do all those hashtags.
I think we should have a vote on which one of those hashtags is like the best. I think who is J. Cole is far none the best.
Yeah, I think it's probably the one that's going to stick. Adobe Cadabra is second.
And it's worse because you live in North Carolina. That's like his hometown.
I just moved there, so I have that excuse still, right? Hopefully. But thank you for being with us, Brian. It's so cool to see different designers work too. I think this is my favorite part of being a host on Adobe Live, is just seeing how different people work. Yeah, you're very good at just getting concepts and ideas down on the page, which I think is super important for producing and creating work and shipping it.
I do know a lot of like people who like dabble in sketching or drawing it.
Yeah.
And for me, that's just a time consumer. And I think whenever you let time into the equation when you're trying to create something, it's just a bad thing.
Yeah, it eats away. You only have a certain amount of time. We talked about this yesterday too, but Alex doesn't do hand sketching on paper at all. He starts by doing wireframing in XD. And so we started with wireframes, but they quickly became, I would call them final designs, because he blocked things out and then was able to use XD features like populating images to make it look really final really quickly.
And another thing that I do,
Voodoo Val confessed she doesn't know who J. Cole is either. I'm not alone. Thank you.
Who did?
Voodoo Val. She's one of the moderators, one of the people that helps out here.
All right. Well, maybe I'll create a playlist for everyone who doesn't know J. Cole. Like the first 10 you start with songs.
Yeah. Maybe just put it on like your Dribble or your Behance page.
I'll tweet it out or something.
Yeah. Yes. Also, just as a quick reminder, we have about 53 minutes left before the challenge deadline, so please check out the challenge tab. We have some cool icons for you to play with, and we're looking forward to seeing some time traveling designs for smartwatches. Alejandro's really into the playlist.
I'm serious about making it.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I actually just did some album artwork, so I feel like music has been a part of my life lately that I haven't been able to get away from, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Dane's saying we should open a club. We don't know who J. Cole is. I'm into it. Let's do it.
I would love to be the president of that club.
Yeah, and then all you do is you go in the club and they just play J. Cole the whole night.
Probably attract a lot of people.
Yeah. So we got a couple different social media links.
Yeah,
here.
and you know, I'm trying to keep things consistent, so I actually tried putting in the social media icons here.
Oh, yeah?
But it looked a little weird.
Yeah.
So I just thought buttons would work. I'm not saying that that's 100% right. I might later down the line go back to the icons, but for now, I'm just gonna switch it up because this needs to be low content. Just people that want to follow Tiyobis can just go to Instagram, Twitter, or Snapchat instantly.
Yeah.
Get the URL, follow us. So that's why I'm using buttons here instead of the social media icons.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's all about preference, but then you do probably want to test with users to see if they can identify it social media links without those iconic icons. Ralph says he also doesn't know who J. Cole is, but he's not really a club joiner. I mean, I'm not normally a club joiner either, but I mean, this sounds like a pretty cool club, so I recommend we do it, we dedicate to it. Yeah, we saw some really cool challenge entries yesterday, so I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone creates today. Everyone has a lot of talent, it seems like, with creating designs in XD. I'm really impressed with the community here. Nice, and we're adjusting the color slightly for each of these.
Each one, because if you see all those are the same color, you probably would be confused. You would think that they're all going to the same area. So I want them to be the same, from like the same color swatch, but just tuned up a little bit so you know that it's different.
It's a gradient applied to it again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I actually grabbed this color from this area of my gradient.
Nice. It's kind of your color palette.
Right. Exactly.
I think of like painting, how I'll have like my paints on my palette, and I'll always pull from those same colors.
And when we used I forgot what it was called right here, the what was it, published design specs?
Yeah.
It published our whole swatch that we use on everything.
Yeah, it's super neat. So
that was amazing.
We reviewed the design specs link yesterday, but we'll probably play with it again later today, and
Yeah,
we'll show you
definitely
how
should.
that works.
All right. And then another thing that, you know, consistency is key. So there's a lot of space right here that's empty, and it's not consistent with the space on top. So I'll just do the 10 pixel thing that I've been doing, and just go
Measure
down
it
like
out.
1, 2, 3, and then just, you know, bring this up 30 pixels from the buttons,
Nice.
so it's consistent. And then probably just bring it with that a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, you're so quick with the shortcuts.
Yeah,
Makes me wanna learn them
shortcuts are
better.
like very key to designing for me, at least.
Yeah, very good for quick speed. Voodoo Val says she loves the slight change in color in the logo and symbol design from yesterday. Yeah, I think
Thank
the
you.
whole color palette is really beautiful
Thank
and
you.
very in style. Gradients are everywhere nowadays.
So you know what's funny is that, you know how yesterday I was saying that I do a lot of sometimes coding for my own designs?
Yeah.
When you do margin or padding, you can say margin, and then you set the pixels by 4 different presets. So it goes top, right, bottom, left.
Yeah.
And it's actually the same here.
So you're actually working in a developer's mindset while designing.
Yeah, because I only want the bottom left and right corners to go 100% up to kind of make the same shape we have here.
Yeah.
So in coding it, I would do it the same way. I would just say, you know, this would be border radius, and then I could say 0, 0, 2020. And it's actually the same order because it's top, right, bottom, left, and here it's straight, straight, bottom, bottom. So
Yeah, I wonder if when you look at that asset in the design specs, if it actually has the code snippet you
it
would need.
probably will. Yeah,
Yeah.
we should definitely look into that.
Yeah, that's really cool. Alejandro says she really likes that you're explaining your decisions as you go through this. I can't,
Thank you.
agree enough, because it's really nice to understand why someone makes certain decisions. You can see someone working, and you might not know why they're making certain decisions, and we're hoping to help out with that by
Yeah.
having guests like you
When
explain
I
what they're doing.
watched my first live stream, it was with I forgot his last name, but his name is James. And if you go on Dribble and just type in James, he's the guy that makes all those extremely cool looped animated GIFs. I think what was showing him to
You
you
were
yesterday.
showing me them, yeah, they're really cool.
And when I watched his, he did a really good job of explaining kind of his thought process. So then when I came and got invited by you guys, I was like, I want to leave you guys with just why I'm doing certain things, not just how I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's really great. It's like we're user researching Alex, Eric says. Yeah,
Nice.
in a way we are.
So all I'm doing here is it's still a little empty compared to the rest of the site. So I'm recreating those assets that we have here for some visual appeal.
Yeah.
And I'm just putting them in here as just a little
Flair.
just a little bit.
Nice.
Just a little bit.
Welcome back, Frank. Congrats again on the notebook. So chat, do you have any questions so far for Alex? We mentioned yesterday that Alex is also a developer, and so with a lot of these designs, he'll end up actually building them out after he designs them, which I think is super cool and helpful. We talked about speaking different languages in terms of knowing how to translate it to code, using design specs in XD. So check out yesterday's episode if you want to see what we talked about there. But yeah, let us know if you have any questions about what we're working on here.
So I just switched it up really quick, so we don't have the same cover art.
Nice. Awesome.
Just randomly did it by just grabbing the images and then just throwing them in there.
Perfect. And now it looks a little bit more unique with things mixed
Yeah.
up. Voodoo Val is wondering what your favorite apps are. I think that's a good question.
Apps. 2 apps that I use a lot. I love Instagram. It's cool.
Instagram is rad. Yeah.
There's not a lot like going on, but a new app that kind of featured that kind of surfaced and is really amazing. I think the UI is great, the icons are great, and it's so simple. The animations are perfect. I think is Robinhood.
Robinhood is my favorite app, I think, in terms of
Robinhood's
design.
one.
So good.
And they have a web app now, and the web app is just as good as the mobile
I got
app.
invited to it, yeah. And there's a designer who recently was hired by Robinhood who's working on these really cool ad campaigns and illustrations. I have to find out what his name is now. But Robinhood, I completely agree. Their design is really nice and really clean, and it helps you understand finances as a layperson really easily.
100%.
Yeah. Definitely check out Robinhood app, Voodoo Val. It's super cool. They also just added the ability to buy cryptocurrency, but usually it's for stock trading. And so I wanted to know more about how I could trade stocks. And
I bought some.
Yeah, they make it really
I didn't
easy.
do so good though, but I bought some.
I was buying like penny stocks that would fluctuate really drastically, and I only put a couple bucks into it. But I saw like my stocks go crazy in fluctuation.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
No, I lost like $200 in Bitcoin.
Oh, really?
Not
200 is not that bad,
Not that bad.
No, it's not that bad. I mean, Bitcoin has been really interesting. I remember when my friends bought it, like, I don't know, 8 years ago.
Oh, they must be like billionaires.
They paid off their student loans.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
I bought Litecoins back in the day, but they only increased in value like $80, and I only bought $150 worth. And then I lost my wallet, so I could have made like $300, but.
Oh my god, that's unfortunate.
It's fine. It was a learning experience. Yeah, I'm gonna try to find these Robinhood illustrations. Oh, they're so cool. Yeah, like this. Daniel Hare. Hare spelled Haire. If you want to check out his work, he's been doing some like neon illustrations for Robinhood, and they look really cool.
Yeah, those are the ones that I really like.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they actually did a smartwatch design too. Makes a lot of sense for what they're doing. Roswan asks if you're working both on mobile and web development.
I do, well, mobile development for web, where you use media queries. That's what I do, too.
Yeah, responsive web design
Responsive
for mobile.
web design for sure. I don't do iOS.
No? You don't like coding in
I tried
Swift?
iOS for like 2 years, where I would like go do it for like, I would get a book and read it. But it's the Objective-C course and all that.
I probably got the same book as you. I got like 10% through it and then gave up.
It's the big thick one, right?
Yeah, it has like a bar, like a on the front.
I think so. But yeah.
But yeah, if you want to build mobile applications, I recommend something like Unity, a game engine where you can design and have it export to different devices like iOS or Android or web. And I think that's easier for designers to learn and pick up and program in, but it's not easy either. It's tough to do mobile design compared to web design. There's some questions about different language compatibility in XD. I wish I could answer those questions. Maybe some of the moderators can help out, or I believe there's some contact information you can access within XD for feedback. So I would definitely ask them about it. I wish I knew about compatibility with different languages, but I think it's super important to make sure when you're designing products that are going to be global, going to be all over the world, you want to make sure that what you're designing makes sense for different languages. And so German's a good language to translate to because German words end up getting really long. And so you want to make sure that all of your content still fits properly when you're looking at it in a language like German. This is looking really nice.
Thank you.
And so you're naming your artboards.
Yeah, because now I'm going to be dealing with a lot more artboards, so I don't want things to get confusing. And I see a lot of other designers sometimes wonder, like, I see a lot of designers where they name every layer, it's super organized.
I wish I did that.
It's grouped perfectly. I know maybe a few designers who do that very well. I'm not one of them. I don't group. The only things I group are the things I have to. I name nothing. But if I can keep one thing organized, I just try to keep my artboards organized.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm going to be prototyping with them. I need to know like
that needs to be organized.
Yeah.
I think it's also a matter of if you're going to be collaborating with other designers who are going to be opening your files, it might be nicer to keep it a bit more organized. But if you're working independently and you know how you organize your layers, then it's a bit more flexible. Jason asks, coming from print, what's the best way to learn spacing and type sizes for UI?
Coming from print, what's the best bit? I did a little bit of print early on in my career, but I found it actually very similar.
Yeah?
The way that I would do print is I would just go on whatever print website like Visa Print or Moo.com, and I would just download the template that they would use for their business card, their postcard, their flyers.
Yeah.
And it would give me all the bounding sizes. So I would just create within those bounding sizes, but there wasn't really a big difference. I know specialties like designers who go into print specifically know all this stuff about what type to use and all that. I just do a lot more web.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference that I would say is with print, you can kind of go wherever you want in terms of type and mix and match as much as you'd like. Whereas with web, generally you're dealing with building a code base of a style guide. And so you'll have dedicated type sizes for, say, an H1, which is a header one, compared to a paragraph text block. And so you're going to have these mapped specs for different HTML specifications in terms of type. And so you're a bit more limited in the flexibility of how many different typefaces you can use and different styles you can use. And so when you're working on web compared to print, you just want to make sure you understand the constraints of what you're working in so that you don't pick too many typefaces or too many different styles that become impractical for when you're building it out.
So what I did here was I just created another artboard, and when I did that was because we're gonna have a producer screen where there's notifications for the producer and then there's not.
Gotcha, okay.
So we can prototype later and we can see what those actually look like.
I'm excited to see this. Do you mind making it full screen? I'm having a little bit of a hard time seeing what you're working on.
No problem.
Alejandra is asking, do you think learning to code changed your design process? I often feel like I should learn to code to keep up. And we definitely talked about this yesterday, so I highly recommend going back to watch video 1, but do you want to comment on this again?
I think there's nothing bad that's going to happen because you learn how to code. You're not going to become a worse designer. You're not, you know what I mean? You're just going to lose out on like some social stuff because it's going to take some more time. Not your day.
You're not going to be able to hang out with friends as much because you're learning too much.
But I promise you it's worth it on a job application, on a resume. I know when I've been interviewing at places like Pinterest or Jelly or places like that, when I use the word I know how to code, instantly I see their eyes like water. They're like,
nice.
So I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, there are certain companies that actually require their designers to know code, but that's not true of everywhere.
But also at the same time, I know great designers who are like 10 times better than me. They know no code.
Because they've specialized.
It all depends on what you want to do.
Yeah, there's no wrong answer, I think. It's whatever you find interesting and whatever you're good at. So if you feel like you'll be good at coding and good at understanding that side of it, then I say jump into it. Always learning is a good mindset to have, and if you're learning something that pertains to what your career is, that's never a bad thing. Hi Cedric. Hi Kapil. Thanks for joining us. Great question, Jason. Thanks for asking it. And Alejandra. These are good questions. Keep them coming. Joy asked, when you started coding, what language did you start with?
I started with just basic HTML and CSS.
Yeah, I feel like when we say coding, there are different levels of coding. Mm-hmm. And so we talked about how we don't like to do iOS development. Alex doesn't like to do iOS development, but web design is generally HTML, CSS, some JavaScript.
A little bit.
But that's it. That's all
not
you
even
need to
that
know.
much. I don't type any JavaScript. I
Oh,
know
really?
enough to put the script tag below the the HTML stuff within the body and the head.
So you copy paste the snippets you need.
Right, and then I just read like an online tutorial and paste this snippet here. Make sure that the JS file links up.
Yeah.
But I don't do any coding for JavaScript.
Yeah, so it's mostly if you know you need a feature that uses JavaScript, being able to follow instruction to plug it into what you're doing. Cedric said he started with web design, learning basic HTML and CSS, and now he uses coding for expressions in After Effects. That sounds cool. I haven't done any coding in After Effects, but maybe I should play around with that. Leo mentions copy-pasting code can make debugging a little tricky. Yeah, but if it's simple enough, like adding in JavaScript, if you know how to code and you're coming in to solve it, you should be able to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm not like copying and pasting like a whole website over.
Yeah.
It's one like maybe 2-line piece of code.
Yeah, I think where it becomes troublesome is when you're using WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get editors. A lot of the code can get pretty jumbled when you export it. And so there are tools like Dreamweaver. Adobe had a product where you would design and then it would export code for you, but that code can get a little bit messy sometimes if you're trying to go in and customize it outside of the program where it was built. Paulo says that's how he uses JavaScript as well, copy-paste. Yep.
Sweet, Paulo. We're on the same boat.
Yeah. Jeff is asking how long it took you to learn HTML and CSS. That's a good question.
You know, I did this project when I was in high school, and it was for a real estate agent, and she needed a site, and I designed the site in Adobe Fireworks.
Wow, yeah. Old school.
Old school stuff.
Nice.
And I spent my winter break, so about a month, just learning the crap out of WordPress.
Yeah.
And I was able to build little templates that I would import into WordPress. So it took me about a month.
Wow.
But what really helped me learn it fast was I told the lady that I knew how to code when I did not know how to code.
Yeah.
And I think she paid me $800 at the time.
Whoa, so much for a kid.
And I was just like a junior in high school. So I literally was like, no friends for winter break. I'm just going to live in a room. And I learned code in maybe a month.
That's so great. I think that's a good
way
of learning.
It was probably one of the hardest months of my life still. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I can understand
waking
that.
up and having to like, you're on the same problem where the contact form is not loading.
Oh my gosh.
And you're there for days and you finally realize there's a bracket missing or something.
It's always something like that. It's
so
always
small. And you go through the code like 20 times and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But it's part of it.
It's part of the learning experience. I think, yeah, choosing to say yes to a project that requires you to learn software skills you don't have, it's risky, but if you are confident in the timeline and what you can accomplish, and it's a good way to force yourself to learn something. I still do that. I still have that methodology.
And, you know, it's not, it is risky, but it's more like, what are they going to do? You're just going to go to them and say, look, I tried my best and it didn't work. You don't have to pay me.
Yeah,
so you really don't have anything to lose.
Yeah.
Especially if you're starting out. You don't even have a name.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's better to try, I think. Ralph says, fake it before you make it. Yeah, people think it's awesome. I agree. It's an awesome way of working. Eileen says, nothing like having a fire lit under you to get stuff done. I mean, that's totally true. You need to have motivation. Alejandro says it's an interesting way of working. Interesting, but it works. Welcome back, Joy. Thanks for being here. I feel like you've been working away. What have you been building while I've been chatting with people?
So what I've done is I've organized all the files. So
Nice.
I've created them, put them in artboards. So now when I start linking stuff up, I'm going to know what goes where. So I have the homepage logged out we did yesterday. I have producers. I have producers page with the notification. So if they got a message, you know, the notification center for the user. I'm going to work on Explore next. I put a sign up modal together. We did that yesterday as well.
Nice.
And then I'm doing the Explore now, actually. And that's going to be the page where you can explore what's trending today, the most recent stuff, or the most popular this month. Which, believe it or not, that helped me a lot, was having different tabs that I can go through to see like what was top for this month. I remember just watching so many designers go there and all the best stuff would surface. And then that was just a gauge where I just set a goal where I wanted to be in that place one time, you know,
the goal.
for the top of the month. So I want the producers to kind of be in that competitive spirit as well.
Yeah, it's always good to have competition to enforce motivation again. Very cool. So we've got a lot of screens going on, a lot of small details.
So my overall plan is to get this page done. We'll have, I think at that point, will have probably the 4 most important screens for our web application.
Nice.
And then I'll be able to export those, and that's when we'll dive into the landing page. So we'll probably get to it right before the class ends today.
Nice.
Then we'll start it off tomorrow and just hit it hard.
Yeah, that sounds great. And then maybe tomorrow we can focus more heavily on the prototype.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to make prototypes of these pages, Kapil. I think it might turn out that we're going to run out of time today to start it, but we'll definitely be doing it tomorrow, so tune back in. And you'll have another chance to win a nice little goodie from us. Also, as a quick reminder, we have about 30 minutes left before the challenge deadline. I can't wait to see what you put together. Hopefully you've really put in some creative thought into a time travel application. I think the prompt is super cool, so there's a lot of opportunity to kind of have fun with it. And it looks like we have a couple people that have submitted already, so thank you, Nelsahan and Cameron. I'm excited to see everyone else's as well. Eric loves free goodies from Adobe. Me too. I definitely do. Yep, and feel free to check out the challenge tab for those details. We gave you a beautiful icon set. And yeah, I think these challenges are so nice to have while we're working with you guys and teaching you concepts. It's really cool to see a direct application of what you've been learning. And maybe you're already familiar with XD and you teach us some stuff or show us some beautiful designs that inspire us. Jeff, there will not be a challenge tomorrow. Tomorrow we're actually going to do portfolio reviews. And so if you want to have us give you some feedback on a work in progress portfolio, or maybe it's an existing portfolio, that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. Daniel's asking when the next live show is. With us specifically, it'll be tomorrow starting at 11 Pacific time. But we also have a lovely group after us, Kevin and Jessica, who are working on social media influencer application. It's a mobile application, so you can just keep tuning in today to learn some more UX UI from them and have another chance to win a goodie. Thank you, Chris, for submitting. We're getting some more people in here. So I saw you deleted a couple of different things. Are you still just going through the process of organizing all this?
Yeah, just organizing. That's all I'm doing now. Just making sure that anything that shouldn't be there anymore is deleted.
Nice.
Just to clean stuff up.
Yeah, do you have like a format you use in an XD or design file where you move artboards to certain locations?
Yeah, I do. I was actually looking. I don't know, when I select artboard here, I don't know how to specifically grab it, because typically the artboard is selected.
Oh yeah, if you hover over where the name is, that ... above the artboard,
oh wow,
you can click that and drag it.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So glad I asked.
Yeah, if you have any questions about XD, I know you're still new to it, so I'm happy to help out.
Yeah, so now I can literally just, or this is actually how I would organize it. I would organize it with flow.
With flow,
so the way the user would actually interact with the page is how I would organize it.
Gotcha.
So I move artboards around like very frequently.
Yeah, I think I do it very similarly to you, where if I have an action being taken, I'll have it on the same line. And then when there's a new action or a different flow, I have it below it.
Right, because now we have home producers, but then we have the producer that with the notification.
Yeah.
But it's on a different screen, so it doesn't need to go to the right, it should go below it. At least when
it's a
stuff.
alteration, yeah, the same way.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Great designers think alike.
I think so. Let us know how you design your organized files. Wait, I said that backwards. Let us know how you organize your design files. If it's different than what we do, if it's the same, or if you have your own new way you're trying out. I think it's always super fun to learn about how different people organize their stuff. Eric says he does it too. Linda does it the same way.
Sweet. So this is actually like my little stash right here right now.
Yeah.
So we have homepage, you know, the only thing is why I didn't put it below is because it's not like an extra step. To me, it's like the higher step.
Gotcha.
So the sign up page is above the homepage.
Like an overlay would
and
go above.
that'll be the only thing, yeah.
Yeah.
That goes above the normal pages.
It's organized. It makes sense to me. Eric and Laura love Kevin. They think he's hilarious. He is. Having dinner with him last night was amazing. He had his like rose-colored glasses, his lovely like floral shirt.
Kevin's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, everyone this week is super cool. I mean, the whole crew is a solid group. I think James and Paul this morning were probably super hilarious. I'm never going to forget James's laugh for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It's very iconic. Jeff is asking if you had any formal education in UI or UX or if you were self-taught.
All self-taught.
Yeah.
No college, nothing.
Yeah, you didn't need it. We talked a little bit about that yesterday and what that meant for him and how he found his community online. So I recommend you go back and listen to day 1 if you want to hear a little bit about Alex's background.
All right, so now we have everything organized, I'm going to dive into design.
Great. We're ready to jump back into it. Kapil thinks it's cool that you're organizing the layout like a page flow. I think so too.
Especially because we're going to prototype it.
Yep.
So it'll be a lot easier than like finding an artboard over here that's behind 5.
Yeah, that's always a mess when you're linking pages that are far away from one another, aren't in the order that makes sense for a prototype. Ralph mentions that viewing the world through rose-colored glasses is great. Yeah, I can't help but agree.
So you know what's cool is I just grabbed this whole group.
Yeah.
And we're gonna recycle it for the explore page.
Perfect.
Very easy. And I'm sure we can still do this.
Sorry, Adobe Cadabra.
And now it's still, you know what I mean?
It's still, yeah.
So I only needed, what did I need? 8 for my homepage, right? So now I can have, 12 for the other page.
Nice.
So it's so awesome, that feature.
It's so easy.
I would actually get Adobe X just for that feature alone.
Yeah. Adobe XD just for that feature for Peak Grid. Well, it is free now for one project, so you're more than welcome. And I believe that we are gonna hook you up with a subscription. So
yeah, I heard that. And when I heard that, I was like, let's do it.
Yeah, so you can be a promoter of XD out in the wilds. Ty mentions that someone should get you a UX coffee mug with some water.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah?
But I'm okay right now. I don't need water, but I appreciate you having my back.
Yeah, I think it's important to stay hydrated when you're talking and on stream.
I actually have like a 40-ounce hydro flask over there.
Nice.
But I didn't want to down it because I was like, what happens if we use the restroom?
Yeah, it's never a good situation when you need to use the bathroom on stream and you're sitting in the seat. Let me tell you, it's like
Is that like, what do you guys do? You guys just pause the stream?
Paul has actually gotten up and had to have someone swap out with him.
Oh,
I got to experience
horrible.
that. Yeah, it happens. I mean, you need a nature break once in a while.
Yeah, you do.
Try to do it as subtly as possible.
Yep.
I have something to show you. You should sit here and look at it.
Yeah, Paul's telling us a story of how he was trying to be subtle about it,
God.
but it's hard to be subtle when the camera's on you.
Yeah, so no water for me.
Aw, and Joy said she's self-taught also, and she can love and appreciate how many resources Adobe makes available to everyone.
That's awesome.
Adobe Live being one of them. I can't help but agree, especially since I'm moving now from San Francisco to a place like Asheville, North Carolina, where design's not a big community. I'm gonna have to be way more online, way more plugged in, and I hope to participate with everyone here in chat with Adobe Live. I think it's a really great resource. Jason said that it seems like most people who know UI are self-taught, and he asks if companies care mostly about your portfolio instead of an education in UI. Do you have an answer for that?
Yeah, I've probably, I've lost to people in interviewing who didn't have a college degree and were just better, and I've, succeeded against people who had Harvard, all the best ones.
Harvard.
Because they really care about the work that you can produce for them at the end of the day. It doesn't matter your education. It just matters what can you do kind of for the company.
Yeah.
And
I completely
are you a good person? Are you ethical? That's kind of what I've been able to just, when interviewing, that's what they look for.
Yeah, I will say there are some companies who have actually pointed out my college degree to me, which I thought was a little bit strange, but those are usually the more old school companies, not the more modern digital design companies. I feel like there's been a lot of articles put out where people don't really care about your college degree, so it all depends on the work you want to do and where you want to work. Eric mentions online learning is great. I can't help but agree. There's so many resources now on YouTube, on all these education platforms, Adobe Live, Adobe tutorials. There's just learning everywhere. Joy says hard work pays off, and hard work can be a traditional education also. I agree. I'm still paying off student loans. I mean, I don't know how I feel about having my college degree at this point. Oh my gosh, Ralph. Ralph says streaming is a double entendre in that restroom context.
I don't even know what that means.
It means you could be streaming in the bathroom or streaming here.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yep. And Andrea mentioned most design job ads she's seen say BS or equivalent experience.
I don't know what that means. Bachelor?
Bachelor of Science, yeah. Yeah. And Joy works for Navient. I actually don't know that company. I'll have to look it up. But she says she understands. So, cool. I'm glad you understand. We're on the same page. Yeah, Navient looks pretty corporate, so I get it.
Another thing that I'm going to do real quick that I've saved a lot of time with was I like to create these like padding squares, I call them, just to measure. If I don't want to do the shift 10 pixel thing,
yeah,
I'll just create squares and then align it perfectly, you know, so that the top and bottom padding or margin is consistent.
Yeah,
instead
I
of
definitely
doing
do
the
that too.
shift stuff, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to measure, you just want to eyeball it with the help of a tool.
Yeah, so now we have the actually, once I put the active state for the Explore tab, we actually have this page done as well. So this is the Explore. So now we have Home, Producers, Explore. We're just missing the notification.
Yeah,
modal.
but that's a lot of pages, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's enough to have a core idea of how this application works.
Yeah. Let me just copy this style, copy, paste style. I love that, by the way. If any of you are looking for like copy style, paste style, if you just, I learned this yesterday, if you just copy and then paste appearance, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's
And
super
that-
handy. You can do that for gradients, you can do it for text styling, for any type of styling, really.
Yeah, so that's all. That's been awesome.
Adobe Cadabra.
Adobe Cadabra.
And we only have about 18 minutes left before the challenge submission deadline, so please get your submissions in. We have a couple already, but I'd like to see some more in here.
So now I'm actually going to prototype this out.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
awesome.
ready.
We're going to jump into it.
We're ready.
Cool. So you have everything organized. We have all the core pages, and this will be your first time creating a prototype.
This is my first time creating like an official prototype.
Nice.
So, well, let's see how easy this really is.
Yeah, so we're going to switch over from design to prototype.
Yep.
And now we can start by picking our home page, which will have that blue icon
Here.
beside the artboard.
So let's do this. I think.
Oh, and maybe you've started linking together some
Well,
elements.
yesterday we did a few,
Yeah, that's right, we did.
and I'm wondering how we can delete them.
Yep, if you just click them and delete, or drag off the little nodules that appear from the artboard, it can also delete them.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just drag it off basically.
Yep.
Put it up here, and this is going to be sign up, dissolve, ease and out, and then.
So I do want to mention a new feature for Adobe XD, which is that overlay.
Yeah.
And so you're showing an overlay here with a background color. You actually can delete everything except for the overlay pop-up that you want, and it can automatically display it as an overlay.
Okay, let's try that.
Yeah,
So overlay, sign up mode, dissolve, ease and out, and then I can just delete everything but this.
yeah, the only thing
Okay.
that you might want to keep is that background color if you do want to have it dim down
Should we,
all the
want,
other
should, we,
elements.
should we just check out how it looks?
Yeah, let's check it out.
All right, so I believe it's linked up. Overlay, so let's just play it.
So he's going to press the play button on the top right to start playing around with the
Oh, that's
website.
awesome. That's exactly what I wanted to happen.
Yeah, so now we have this overlay working.
That was pretty easy. And I don't have to tell the computer or anything that when I click off of the modal, I want it to go back to my state.
Yeah,
That is amazing.
it's pretty easy.
That is amazing.
So Alex is having fun with prototyping.
That's awesome. Now, these are just my screens. Okay.
Yeah, so you can press escape if you want to go back, or
Perfect.
it'll have that window open, so you can drag that window over your XD file if you want to keep playing with the prototype while designing.
I
So
can
you-
drag this.
Yeah, so do you have your XD file?
Looks like my XD file went away, so I just.
I think
clicked
it's
that.
probably on a different screen. Yeah, so you have this preview window now on top of your XD file. So if you wanted to say play with the mobile application while you're designing, you can have it open and click around while you're working on it. But if you don't need this right now, you can also just close out of that preview
That's
window.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now I'll link up more stuff. So I'm going to grab him. I'll do the same thing, right? I can just do overlay, and that's all I want. And I'll do the same for sign in and sign up, only because if you remember, we have login right there.
Yep, so we have the
So
ability to do both by clicking
in a
those.
real example, I would actually create another experience for sign in and sign
Login.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, sign up and sign in. Yeah.
Yeah. So now that's linked up well. That's exactly what I want. We can do some really intense like prototyping with like this bar comes up when you hit play.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I think we might have lost our play button. So I have it recreated luckily right
Oh,
here.
how did we lose it?
I think I deleted it on accident.
Gotcha. That happens,
That
yeah.
happens. So I have this guy.
Yeah, and maybe at this point, since the repeat grid is going to stay the same, you could ungroup it if you wanted to play around with the individual elements in the repeat grid.
Yeah, that just ungroup grid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. And I can actually just grab. I can ungroup this as well.
Yeah, it's just you're not in design mode, so it's only letting you do prototype actions right now. So if you
Got it.
want to play around with the design, you gotta switch back.
That's awesome. Sweet. So now I can just ungroup again. All my stuff. Now I can actually really center this.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it looks like you're pretty close.
Pretty. And what we'll do is we'll have this button. I'll add like my little shadow, a little bit more predominant.
Nice. Shadows are always good to show depth.
Very good. And then what I can do is I believe I can actually create another artboard, and
Yeah.
I can put that only to display and then just link it right on the play.
Yes.
Sweet.
So you'll probably want another artboard separate from the play hover to have the footer appear.
Sweet. And then I learned today that I can easily just grab them that way.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then if that's there, I can remove this. Let's lock that guy up. Sweet.
Nice.
And then from here, on this specific one, I'll just go back into prototyping. I will
Nice.
just zoom out so I can see what I'm doing, and then I'll just put that to there. Dissolve, homepage, ease in, ease out. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. And then what I'll do is that's actually exactly what I want to do. So
Cool.
now if I play it, we should be able to sign in there,
Yeah.
sign in there, and then if we hit play,
It appears.
that's
Nice.
awesome. That's really cool.
Very easy.
That is amazing. So I'll hit escape. I think it goes over here. And then I just go back to designing. So what was that, like 4 minutes? No,
Yeah.
maybe even 3.
Not even, yeah.
And so now I actually know how to prototype.
Yeah, the only other thing we should probably play around with is we probably want to make the header sticky, right? So we
Yeah.
can do that with a prototype.
Let's do that. So let's say we wanted on, you know what's kind of different? What if on producers, as the user scrolled down,
Yeah, then the sticky
that
stays.
search stayed.
Yeah.
All right, so let's prototype. So I would just grab it.
Mm-hmm. And if you click on that, I believe, you can make it a
Preview scroll position.
preserve scroll position. Yeah,
Oh,
so sticky.
preserve. There we go.
Let's try that out.
And then let's play that. So when
Can
I
you get to
come
the
here,
producers page through a link?
I think actually, yeah, because we can do this, right?
Yeah. But it might have made it smaller, so let's make it a bigger screen.
Let me zoom in.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll just increase the length of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you make it longer, it'll force us to have to scroll. And you want to close the preview window.
Yeah. So let's grab our artboard here, producers.
Oh, we gotta go back to design mode to make it bigger.
Oh, got it. And then we'll just increase. But what's cool is with the repeat grid, it takes seconds.
Yeah, all you gotta do is just pull it down a bit more.
Yeah, so we'll make it very long. You know what would actually make sense? No, well maybe, but it might not. It might make sense. We'll just keep it that way. But I was also gonna say maybe sometimes I see this a lot where the
That
right
follows you?
sidebar follows.
You could also make that sticky,
So
I
we
think.
can, yeah, we can do that as well. Let me group all this together.
Yeah, people are talking about fixed elements, sticky headers. All these features are pretty new in XD and they're really neat. I haven't even really had the chance to really use them properly, so it's cool that we have a chance to right now.
Okay. So I think.
And what you could do, just for the sake of the prototype, is you can click the icon on the left side of the artboard to make that the home. So when you press play, you'll start on the screen.
Got it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's see now. So we're there, but it's not.
All right, let's
How should we do this?
close out of the preview real quick, and let's look at the settings that we have set up for our prototype play button. When you hit play, it just pops that up, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, maybe Paul can help us out here. Why is it having
What
the
if we
screen-
publish prototype?
Yeah, try that.
So let's do that. Allow comments, allow open in full screen, hotspot,
Yes.
Create public link. Engaging contains no interactions. Please add interactions. Or choose a new home artboard.
No interactions. I guess because you're not linking the producer's page.
Well, we can
to
just
another
link that.
page?
We can link that all up right now,
Yeah.
real quick. Then,
So how do you get to the producer's page from the home page?
So from here, what we'll do is anywhere you click on the sign up, right? Because on our logged out homepage, it's not going to have the same navigational items.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is in a real world example that we would have a different logged in experience for the homepage.
Cool. So we
right?
can say that
We'll
after
just say
seeing the
that
overlay.
after the overlay, you'll go to you'll
The
go straight
producers.
into producer. So I'll put that over here.
Great.
Good. So now we're in producers, and now what I can do is I can link these up to go full circle. Do you
Nice.
see what I'm doing?
So we're just linking everything up at this
So
point.
now explore would go here.
And then how do you get to the, it's a notification that pops up, right, for the second producer's page that we were playing around with?
Right. So let's get there by just clicking the user avatar, because it is around, the notifications are around that user.
Perfect.
And then let me just link these up too, back to this home page. Perfect. Explore would go to
Where you are, right?
Yeah, we're here, and then producers would go here, and
Easy
then
peasy.
we should be good to go. I think we just need to link this up now.
Yep, link up the last page and then indicate the home page as the home page.
Home, producers, explore would go here, and so now let's give it a try.
Yeah, you just need to make the page the home page again by clicking the icon right there.
Perfect.
Perfect.
So let's play it.
We want to publish the prototype, right?
Publish it, yeah.
Yeah. So let's publish the prototype. It's our first time publishing a prototype in
So
XD.
create link. Let's see. Oh, it's doing it. I think it's actually working now.
Yep. It's getting hung up in the middle.
There we go.
There
We
we
got
go.
something. So now I just hit this.
Cool. Now we can test out our prototype.
We're here. Sweet. So this is.
Do full screen mode too. Yeah.
So now I can click here, sign up. Oh, there we go. And then click anywhere on here. Takes me to producers.
Nice.
And then we
Oh,
have
the
no,
sticky
but
elements, though.
remember they're at the bottom. We have to
Oh.
actually see the notification from him.
Oh
So
yeah.
he goes to notifications,
Oh,
and it looks like we're still not sticking. But maybe I just need to link it up. But all this stuff seems to be linking well. Explore.
yeah, all the pages are linking together, so we can navigate this completely.
Yeah, you can. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is
So
pretty
now
cool.
we can just try to link it up now, right?
Yeah, and we'll have to
With
figure
the-
out
with the
why the
sticky.
sticky elements weren't
Well, let's just
working.
try this, and then what I'll do is I'll just preserve.
We're trying to make the header sticky, so Paul might step in to help us out here, but we clicked on preserve, what is it? Preserve
Scroll position.
which I thought was what you
Will
do.
be when you navigate back to that page, it'll be at the bottom if you scroll to the bottom.
Oh.
Oh,
And if you go into the design view,
Yeah.
that's where you'll see a checkbox that says fixed position.
Okay, so now we're in design view.
and we got to find a box for fixed position, which is
Okay, right here.
right there.
So I clicked that. That should be good. Let's also do it for this guy.
Thank you, Paul, for helping us
Thank
out.
you,
He's
Paul.
in the background giving us some
Paul's
tips
awesome.
and tricks. Yeah,
Paul, he helped us with the copy styles yesterday.
yeah, he did.
that was
He knows
awesome.
XD pretty well.
Very well.
I have Google.
And then you have to republish the link.
Yep, so publish prototype. click.
Oh, you have to republish it though, since we made updates. You need to update the link. And that's something that you'll need to do in XD because you can keep old links of different versions of a prototype, and so you want to make sure
Sweet.
you update
So now
it.
we're updating. I think it'll work now. I'm excited.
Eric says Paul is also talented. He's doing handstands and
Paul's doing handstand, finger push-ups.
And we're not lying. He's actually doing
like
this.
showing off now.
yeah. Paul is pretty talented. All right, so it updated, and
so
now we can
let's
try
do
again.
it. Let's do it.
And full screen again. I like doing full screen
So
mode.
this should work. So we'll sign up. We're new to TO Beats. We'll sign up. We can put in all our stuff.
Information.
Now we're in. You know, we're in as Hit Boy.
Nice.
Right? But these shouldn't be fixed. We actually did it for the screen where Hit Boy has notifications.
Yeah.
So I'll click his face to show the notification. Right? So now we see that, you know, he has that little purple notification tab. Circle notification thing, and then we have the number of likes he has on his beats.
Yeah,
and we're still not getting it. Darn it.
So our promise to you, chat listeners, is to have this working for tomorrow, so we can show properly how to link up.
But all the rest of the stuff is still linking beautifully.
Yeah, everything else is linked up perfectly. We can see how the pages change depending on what we have linked up with hotspots, which is really cool.
Very good.
XD is super easy to pick up and learn for creating those simple prototypes.
I wonder if I hit prototype and then if I just go to publish prototype, because I went back into prototype from design.
Oh, you
maybe
did?
it will do it. So let's update. We'll try it one more time for you guys.
Yeah.
And then if not, we'll show them tomorrow. Because tomorrow is the real magic where we'll do the landing pages.
Yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow. And thank you everyone for participating in the challenge. We got some more entries in here, so I'm super excited. We only have 4 minutes left, so if you want to have it reviewed, please get it in. Don't have much time left.
Home, sign up, here. Yeah, we're still not getting it.
All right, the only other thing I think we could try is the play button from the actual application. So instead of doing the publish link, if we press play and try it this way again, but I don't know if it'll resize the elements. I think it has been. So we got to look into this. We're going to learn some things in XD with you guys.
That'll be fun.
With everyone.
So now we have all these screens. I don't know if we have a few minutes left. Should we dive into the landing page, or?
I think it'd be good now maybe for you to recap what we did today and what people can expect for tomorrow.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So today what we did was when we started from this morning, we actually had the sign up page, the modal done, and we had the logged out home experience done. Today what we took care of was we took care of the producers page, the explore page. We took care of some of the states that would be on the producer navigational system. So we have this producer here called Hit Boy. If he actually had notifications, we took care of that. We added, you know, the right sidebar, which is where people can actually follow TO Beats and follow them on Instagram, Twitter, or Snapchat.
Nice.
And then finally, what we did was we prototyped everything. So now, you know, we go into prototype on Adobe XD. We can actually tab through it. And this is really good if you're going to sit with your developer, so you can bring your computer, the prototype is done, and then you can actually have him walk through, and usually that's when the developer would, you know, start asking you some questions about the project, some of the states you might be missing.
Yeah, it's super helpful to have both the prototype and those design specs for when you do handoff for your development team.
Yeah, so that's what we took care of today.
That's a lot of stuff, so we've covered a lot. The design's looking pretty final. And tomorrow, what are we going to be working on?
Tomorrow, I think if you guys enjoyed even a little tiny bit of the live stream that I've been doing with you guys, I think tomorrow is going to be the final bang, because we're going to do a landing page for this specific product. And I probably do in my work 90% of my work is landing pages. So
you're an expert.
That's kind of what I'm known for. If you look at my dribble, that's usually all I have on there. So we're going to be bringing this to life with a landing page. I'm going to show you guys my whole thought process on what goes into navigational stuff on a landing page, how to sell a product with the landing page, and what's really fun is how to make a landing page really stick out visually. That's really what I have a lot of fun with, is making those shadows and making something that when someone sees it, they're like enticed to stick on that landing page and learn a little more.
Yeah.
Because it's so beautiful and colorful and fun.
You want to hook them. You want to bring them in.
So tomorrow, that's what we're doing.
Sweet, that's a lot. And so the reason you took this approach is because you normally do this approach with a lot of Y Combinator companies.
Y Combinator, Greylock, startups, yes.
Nice, so it's a good way to get design on your side early, to make a really big impact with the product you're trying to build out. And so Alex is an expert on this. Please check out both his website and Behance and Dribbble,
all
Twitter.
that good stuff. Right here.
Yeah, so this is all of Alex's information, and thankfully his name is not too common, so you can look for him
Banaga.
using his handle, Alex Banaga, and his name.
Yep.
You're lucky you can do that.
I like my last name.
Yeah, we said your DJ name would be Banaga, DJ Banaga.
I would have that.
Yeah, so it looks like we got a lot of great entries. Thank you everyone for participating. Thank you for joining us today. We've seen a lot of work from Alex, and now it's time to see work from you. And so the prompt here, the challenge really, I actually would like to bring it back up, was to do 3 or more screens for a smartwatch time travel application using the lovely icon set Alumi, which when you download you can see here. So we have a lot of really cool icons that are kind of futuristic, cool line art, and we're hoping that you use these in a really cool and innovative way for a time traveling application. And so first up in the group we have Neslihan. Neslihan created this beautiful smartwatch design.
I like it.
So we start here, it looks like we have a back arrow already, and we can choose the destination. We also have the time indicator in the top right. It looks like it's very legible and readable, which is great.
Did she do that icon?
So this is part of the icon set that they downloaded.
Yeah, I still like the color though. The choices, those are nice.
I think the neon colors are very in style. Here, I'll let you see a little bit easier.
I can't tell what the text is like. I think it's not white. Am I wrong?
No, I think you're right. I think it's a lighter color, blue or gray maybe.
Yeah, it like matches the background. That's like the same thing I do where I grab the background and make it all the way light.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing.
Yeah, it seems like you learned maybe from Alex today.
I wouldn't take credit, but it looks great.
Nice. Let's see what we can click on here. So it looks like we can click on the icon. So let's do that. Whoa, we can click the icon to get a list of destinations on here.
That's awesome.
So we have a list of Peru, Rome, Tokyo, London. We still have that top navigation of back and the time.
Yeah, it's cool how they have like the little the images behind the locations. That's pretty cool.
It's a little bit dark, but it does make the text legible, and I know there's not a lot of real estate on these smartwatches, so I think this is successful. And if we click on a location, we can pay with PayPal. Interesting. So I'm a little bit confused about that flow. Maybe I clicked on the wrong thing. But let's see what happens when I click again on Pay with PayPal. It looks like I'm going in a rocket ship and I'm traveling, and I can start a tour.
Well, I think you gotta pay before you actually can like take the tour. So maybe that was their thought process.
Yeah, okay. So we had a couple different screens going on here. I can click back to go all the way back to the beginning, it looks like.
I kind of get the flow.
Yeah.
You choose your destination. I want to go to, Rome. I pay for my ticket.
With PayPal,
right?
Yeah.
It might help to have like some explanation, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the only other thing that's throwing me off a little bit is it looks like when I pick destination, I have the menu come in from the right, which makes sense. And then it looks like I can actually highlight Tokyo and choose this location. It comes in from the right. Okay, it all comes in from the right. For one point, it looked like it came in from the left, but it's good that you're consistent with where the pages are coming in from. I think that's important. Overall, though, I think this is super neat. I like the fact that we have navigation at the top. I like the color of the text and the icons.
I like it too.
Yeah. He says it's a surprise tour because you don't know which time. Tokyo now. Nice. This is really cool. Thank you for putting this together. Next up we have Not Where But When by Cameron. I like the different colors in the icon where it's not just one solid color.
That's cool.
And the typeface here is really sci-fi futuristic. I think it's super appropriate for the prompt. And the green, I like the green. And so if we click on the icon, when are you going? I like that. That's really neat. It looks like we have some details
Wow.
here of a date, and a time and a year, and we can travel. It looks like we're going to December 25th in 2093. I hope that's a good year. I hope that's a good time. At 9 a.m. So let's travel. That's cute. I like this background gradient a lot. I think it's really
There's like some
stylized.
creative thought definitely with this one.
Yeah, this is really neat. And if we keep going, welcome to 2093.
They did a little overlay.
Nice.
Very legible. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. And we can return to our time. I guess I'll return to my time. Yeah, this is really
That's
nice.
good. That's good.
Good job, Cameron. I think this is really creative. So far, so good. These are looking amazing. Next up, we have Smartwatch by Chris C. And so we have the same type of navigation at the top, it looks like, with travel on the header and the time. But I like the prompt of tap to start because not a lot of the other designs had that, so this is a good indicator of what we should be doing. So if we tap, we can select a location and the navigation changed to a back on the top left, which I think makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna select a location, I'm gonna check a location, and I'm gonna go. So I like the change of the icons within this main primary button.
Me too.
That's pretty cool. It looks like the only thing I can do now is go back. So this is a pretty cool interactive prototype. I think that having an explanation on these steps might be nice, because I'm not sure what the difference is between, well, I'm not sure what I'm doing when I'm checking the location, but so far so good. I think this is really successful for the real estate we have going on. So thank you, Chris. Next up is B. George. This looks like an Apple Watch almost.
It does. I do like the gradient though.
Yeah, I like the gradient too. It's a green to a light blue. Oh, you can scroll.
That's
This is
awesome.
neat. I'm gonna make sure actually that we couldn't scroll on any of the other ones. It doesn't look like it. I wanna make sure I'm not missing anything in these designs. Great, so B. George, good job doing some scrolling here. I think that this is, oops, I accidentally went back. Let's come back to B. George. I think this is super cool. It looks like the text is overlapping a little bit. Maybe that's a bug.
Maybe you put like an, well, they do have an overlay, right? Yeah, they do.
Later on you get more of an
Maybe
overlay.
that one's just like in front of the overlay.
Yeah, it looks
for
like
some
the
reason.
one title is in front. It's a little bit hard to see the icons, but we are pretty small, so I'm gonna zoom in a little bit and close the comment section. So we have 90% fuel ready to go, $500 for this week. Today's challenge is to travel to 1985. That's cool. You got medals. We have some tutorials on being social. Nice, I need those.
Wow.
Got a profile.
What is that icon? Is that like a basketball?
It looks like a planet almost.
Nice.
I think that's really cool. So yeah, I think this is super neat. It's very modern looking. Let's click on travel to a new year. Cool, we get a little scrolly functionality.
That's cool.
Yeah, oh, we actually
Wow.
can. Man,
And
this
you know
is
what I think they
super neat.
did? I can see they put the black overlay where they do the opacity like disappear at the bottom 100% at the top, so it actually feels like it's scrolling.
Yeah, this is super cool. I think this is really helping to showcase some of XD's functionality. And then if we select, I don't know what year to select. What's
Who
your
is this
favorite year?
again?
This is B. George.
My favorite year? Probably 1995.
Oh, we can't go back that far.
Probably 2000, what are we in?
We're in
18?
2018.
Yeah, 18.
Okay, so this year?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't go up there either. Let's go back a year to 2017.
Wow.
Whoa. This is so cool. So you can learn about yourself from that year. You can see how old you were. It looks like you were pretty young last year, so you're a baby. You're only about 9 years old currently.
Wow, congrats. I mean, 9 years old doing this, that's impressive.
Yeah, this is super cool. I love the gradient on the text too. It's very subtle, but it's really neat. You are going to the best school in New York, and just use Google Maps to find your address. I like these snarky remarks. Let's continue and start this adventure. I am now, okay, so this is the home screen after I've chosen a year to go to. I think there are a couple other pages. Let's see what else is clickable. We have $500 is clickable. I can get more coins or dismiss. I definitely want more coins. I want more money. We have fuel indicators. Wow, these screens are really nice. We have nice little visualizations for each of the different sections.
I could actually see this being up.
Yeah, this is really polished. And let's see if there's anything else. We can do profile. Nice. Okay, Adam. We go back. And level 2 travel power. Nice, you can travel to more years the higher level you get.
That's awesome.
This is super neat. I think that's all the pages. Let me scroll through just to be sure I didn't miss any. Yeah, this is beautiful. A lot going on. Thank you, B. George. Super detailed. Next up, we have Thor. And Thor has this beautiful homepage where you can set time, have a favorite place, get a quick reverse. I don't want to be here anymore. Quick reverse, get me out.
Let's try the quick reverse first.
Yeah. Time was reversed 5 minutes.
Wow,
this
dude.
is perfect. I need this in my life.
Imagine if that was real.
That would be amazing. I trip and fall on my face, reverse. I spill a drink, reverse.
You bomb like an important meeting.
Yeah, I guess
reverse.
it could be more critical than falling and tripping. Yeah, this is great. Or like, you don't know the answer to an interview question, reverse.
Or what if you're like trying to like date someone, you mess up like the first time meeting them?
Yes.
Or you can even be like, I think there's a movie about like, hey, like, where are you from, all that, and then he reverses it and he's like, hey, my favorite place, and he says where she's from, but she doesn't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's manipulation. We could do it with this app. I like this feature. This is super unique and creative. Let's see what happens if we do a favorite place.
That's cool.
Oh, nice. So the favorite place is a year with the type of weather and a location. I think that's super neat too.
Can you go through that navigation?
Yeah, so I'm going to try to click on things that I can see are interactive. So it looks like January 1980s in Alaska is something we can go to. We were at the Alaska Street Market and it was -12. That's a little cold.
That's awesome that they put like the degrees and like, I don't know if the blue color scheme is intentional because it was so cold.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I like this a lot. I like the little notch for the temperature. I think things are very legible. I would say the text could be a little bit bigger for some of the buttons, but I think the idea here is really great. And if we travel, they are gonna let us know it is super cold. Nice. This is super cool. I definitely want a jacket though. I don't like being cold. And then we can stop the time travel. It's very clear with the red button that we're stopping it.
That's good.
Cool. That's a cool flow. I think the last thing we gotta try out is setting time. Whoa.
Oh, you can click it.
Let's click it. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
We can move forward.
Yeah. That's
And
a
then
cool UI structure.
I like the circularity of it with the little dashed lines.
It goes like clockwise as well. That's really cool.
Yeah, this is really cool, Thor. And so if we click on the year now, we can go. Awesome. Let's go to 2022. And then we can again have the same format here with the little indicator of the temperature and stop time travel. This is a lot. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. We have a lot of pages here. I like the little like indicator that it's cold, letting me know that I need a jacket. Yeah, a lot of screens. This is really neat. I think if the text was just a little bit bigger, this would be perfect. And I think the idea is amazing. Good job. This is definitely like a portfolio piece. All these are
I would agree.
portfolio
Definitely
pieces.
a portfolio piece.
Yeah, this is really cool. Thanks, Thor. Next up, we have
Wow.
Dorrit.
What is this?
This is very different.
I haven't seen that.
No, this
Ever.
is a weird looking icon. And it looks like we have solid gradient colors applied to it.
And the colors of the color. Like,
They're really neat. I like that there's the green, red, purple, tan. Kind of looks like a gradient, but a way more solid one. It's like a different approach to the style of gradients. Nice. And so I'm ready. I'm totally ready. Let's click this. Ah, okay. So this is the progress bar that you can see on most like
that's
fitness
cool.
applications.
Yeah, fitness. Yep.
Yeah.
I like that approach.
Yeah.
It's unique.
The visualization is really easy. It's easy to read this page. I feel like the color indicators are really nice too. Make sure you have enough clean water for May 26, 67 AD. Yeah, you probably want water, sunscreen, like a lot of supplies for that time of year. This is really cool. Let's go. And now we're in 67 AD. Get to know the time. We have a map, we have current currency. This would be super helpful. You get somewhere and it automatically recommends the information you need to know to survive.
Especially like the current currency. I wonder if that gives you places where you can go trade in your dollar for their dollar.
That would be awesome. Or trade in your $100 bill for like a gold coin.
Maybe, if it's like in the 80s or something.
Yeah, well it's 67 AD, so
I don't even know.
we're trading coins, I guess.
Okay.
Rupees, maybe. Cool. So the 3 pages. These are really well done. Thank you.
I would have loved to see what happens once you click those icons.
Yeah, you can keep building this out. I feel like this can go places. The only other thing I would say is some of these buttons get a little bit small and some of the text is a little bit small to read. So definitely make things big on such a small screen. It's really hard to design for a watch though. There's not a lot of real estate.
Yeah, not a lot. I think that's why, I think it was Thor who had a lot of different screens, right? Was that him?
Thor had a lot of screens.
I think it was the previous one.
George B? George?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a lot of screens. Yeah, B George, who's participating in chat, he had a lot of screens. And so, yeah, 3 was the minimum, but I think we can definitely build off of this and do some more. But overall, I love it. I love the colors here with this icon. Good job. And last but not least, we have Joe with travel. And I like this icon.
Let's see.
Yeah.
It looks simple. It looks like something that like NASA would have, right?
Yeah,
like just
definitely.
Simple, white and black.
Definitely branding is on point, gets to the point really easily. Let's tap to begin. Nice.
Decent. Yeah, I like the icons.
Marriage recovery. Marriage recovery is one of the first options. Then we have quick fix, finance, reasons. This is hilarious. This is something I need. Every aspect of life can be reversed. This is so cool. So where do you want to go first?
I think your hand's already on it. Let's
Marriage recovery. We got to figure out what this means. No guarantee of success. I like the warning, but we can start by doing marriage recovery. I guess that just brings you to your first mistake in your marriage. Does it go back that far, or does it go back to the latest mistake? I'm not sure. This is really cute. I like the color gradient of the purple. I think that's really successful with the styling of each of these. And the simple black and white is really legible, really easy for this type of screen. I think this is cool. So let's start. And then we take off. We take off to recover our marriage. Travel may share your genetic coding with third-party companies.
That's crazy.
This is hilarious. We're
funny.
already getting into moral debates with the future of time travel.
That's funny. That's like some real thought put into that one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is hilarious. This could be like a short story. I want to read a short story about this design. This is hilarious. All right, no problem, I guess. Clone me if you want to. I don't know if anyone would want to clone me. Here we go. Oh my gosh. So what happens if we click on one of the others? Let's try a quick fix. Nice.
This is like the 5-minute back thing.
Yeah, it's like the quick reverse one, but this has a bit more specifications for a bit of a difference in time frames.
Yeah.
This whole last hour of my life was garbage. Let's just reverse it.
Or 2 hours or 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days. That would be good too. Does it scroll? Nice. Yeah, we have some scrolling going on.
I like that.
These are hilarious. I'm going to do 20 minutes and we're going to take off. And again, I'm sharing my genetic coding every time I do this, so selling my soul. Oh, this is hilarious. Recents, where you were, and a year it looks like is what you can go to. So maybe you like this soccer game you went to in France last year. You can go back to it really easily. This is cool. I like this layout too.
I like it too. It's very simple.
Yeah, each of the layouts of the pages are all very different, and the styling is really neat with the color coordination. It's very easy for me to understand what to do in this application.
Very.
And the last we've got here is finance. So we've got stocks, investments, housing, other. Let's try to redo our stocks, because, I don't know, I shouldn't have invested in Blockbuster.
Or Litecoin.
Or Litecoin, I actually did invest in that. I mean, it's doing well, but let's redo it. Let's redo stocks. Cool. I think this is super cute. I like the interactivity. I like the screens moving around.
I like the thought process behind some of the stuff.
The concepts, yeah. I think the story being told with a lot of these is the most interesting part of these designs. I think they're very successful. Thank you all for participating. These have been really fun to go through. And so Have any stood out to you, Alex?
A couple have, yes.
Yeah, let's review those again.
Mind if we just tab through them so I can just get
Sure.
a refreshment again? We don't have to go through the screens. I just want to see who's.
Of course. So we have, this one is called Travel Time. This one doesn't have a name, but it's time travel from Thor.
Go back to Thor's real quick. Just,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Got it.
The quick review, reverse.
Yep.
And then we have Time Travel App by B. George with the scrolling. We have Smartwatch by Chris C. We have Not Where But When by Cameron with the cool typeface and the cool colors. We have Ness Lahan. Please let me know how to pronounce your name properly. I don't want to mess it up.
Can we just scroll
anymore.
through these? I just need a quick refresher on what those were.
Yeah, let's go through these again. So we can choose our destination.
This is this one. Got it.
We can choose Tokyo. We can go forward. We can pay with PayPal.
Yeah.
So we're paying for this, but not with our genetic soul.
Yeah.
And then we can start the tour. I like the colors going on here. So this one was super neat. Thank you for participating. Next up was Not Where But When. And this one asked us when we're going. We can travel, and we got some cool gradient backgrounds, some cool pattern backgrounds with an overlay.
I love the branding on this one.
Yeah, I think the branding
Very good.
and type is really successful. Nice. Next up we had Chris's smartwatch, and so we can tap to start, we can select a location, we can check that location, and then go.
Yeah.
So this one was cool too. Thank you for participating, Chris. B. George did this scrollable one where we have a couple different pages. We can travel to a new year. We can scroll using this cool overlay scroll. We can go back to when we were 8 years old. This had a lot of screens in it, so.
Who is this? B. George?
B. George.
B. George, okay.
Yep. So we got some fuel. We can dismiss different things. Reminds me of an iPhone application. Next up we had Thor. We had our favorite places like Alaska. We had an indicator of the temperature. We could travel there. We need a jacket. We can stop time travel, do quick reverse. I really like this one. Thank you, Thor. Next up, this was, I lost the name. I'm sorry about losing the name. But this one was really cool too. We have travel time where you're ready, and you have an indicator kind of like a fitness app with some cool colors and text. And then we can check out the current currency and check out a current map. Very cool concept here for travel time, and really cool colors with the icon. And last but not least, we had Joe, where we have marriage recovery, which I'll never stop thinking is funny. This was a super fun challenge. Yeah, thank you all for participating. I feel like it's fun to go through all these, and hopefully everyone had fun laughing with us on some of these concepts. But yeah, at this point, we might need to narrow down the choices.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking, Alex?
And what am I thinking for the top choices or the winner?
Or do you have a winner?
I think the top choices, and I like Thor's a lot.
Nice. Good job, Thor.
I like B. George's a lot.
Good job, B. George.
And then I forgot the name, but the one that did the creative branding was really cool.
Creative branding, not where but
That
when.
That one?
Yeah, this one was also really great.
And then the one we all know for the marriage, reverse marriage.
Yeah, Joe's.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all really good.
Those were really cool, and the others were good too, but these just stood out to me.
Yeah, and so do we have a clear winner?
I think we do.
All right, we got a winner ready. You
I
guys
think we
ready?
do.
Thank you all for participating. Everyone's was gorgeous. It's a lot of fun to go through these with you, so thank you for participating. And without further ado, drum roll. Who do we got?
B. George.
B. George, congratulations! You put a lot of time and energy into it, and it was very obvious. So thank you so much for putting that together and having us go through such a beautiful design. I think it's really great. It feels real. Congratulations. Everyone say congrats to B. George. Yay. I want to see this up on your portfolio site. Everyone's clapping in the office. Thank you for participating. Yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about why you chose this one?
Yeah, I think this one for me just grabbed me because this is the home screen, and the home screen has so many options to scroll from.
Yeah.
So on the way down, I can just go into so many different things, and on the other apps, it was very static. So that's
Yeah.
what kind of grabbed me to be like, you know, I might actually want to use that, and I can see different stuff.
Yeah, this looks super real, so I think it's really great to have such a realistic prototype put together. Thank you again for participating. Thank you, Alex, for everything today. We'll be back again tomorrow to go through prototyping, to go through creating a landing page and really pitching this idea. But please stay tuned. Next up we have Alex, or sorry, not Alex, we have Alex now. Next up we have Kevin and Jessica, and they're working on a social media mobile application. So thank you again. Thanks for participating. The questions have been great, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you guys.
Bye.